You are listening to an original message from the reader currently known as Jason Ashanti McDaniel of Madam Jason's Tarot. This is just a little bit of my personal explanation of why I prefer to read reversals instead of just reading all my cards upright and shuffling it that way. I feel like reversals help you to gauge the specific intention and the exact energy of a card more. Because, in my opinion, if you just read tarot cards all upright, it'll come out as a toxically positive message where, like, you're hearing what you want to manifest, but you're not really getting any feedback on how to make that a reality or things that need to be worked on. So, I've just paired groups of 2 cards. I picked things out of the deck that I feel like would make an interesting story point. And I just want to show you the difference of the story when it comes to, the cards coming out one way and then changing one thing about it or 2 things about it, and then you'll get a completely different message. So, in a love reading, let's say, and it doesn't matter how many cards are in the reading for these examples, but let's say these 2 cards come out together or they come out next to each other so you feel like it's connected. There's a difference between this, which can mean someone's releasing third-party situations, someone's releasing codependency and negative behaviors to send you messages and make action towards you, versus with the devil upright, now all of a sudden, according to my intuition, this looks more like someone obsessing over you and obsessively making fake accounts to spy on you, constantly hitting you up because it's a control thing or it's an ego thing rather than them actually healing that ego. So you see how it makes a huge difference, like how the cards come out. And this doesn't even include crossing cards, which are kind of in the middle between upright and reverse, that are just basically presented as a challenge or something where you're kind of getting the duality of an aspect. So in a toxically positive tarot reading, you get the 9 of Cups upright, you get the Wheel of Fortune upright. Sounds all good and dandy. You're going to get wish fulfillment, having, living your best life, being set for life. But when both of these are in the reverse, when this comes out in a love reading, specifically for twin flames, this could represent someone blocking their own destiny because they're being too selfish. Because, just like the combination I just showed you, someone doesn't want to do shadow work. So when you see these 2 upright, to me, what this can mean is someone is attracting options in love. I don't know why I keep using love situations for most of these examples, but someone keeps attracting options in love because they've learned to be independent, because they're focusing on themselves, because they don't need somebody. But if you just take this and put 9 of Pentacles reverse, now all of a sudden it looks like someone's being delusional because they are in a limerent relationship, or they feel like a specific person can give them this life of luxury, this life of self-love, when it's their responsibility to do that for themselves. And then, a lot of people would love to see this combination upright in a reading. The Emperor upright, the Lovers upright. All you have to do to change the story is make the Emperor in the reverse. Let's say it came out in the reverse. Now all of a sudden it's not about someone being ready for a relationship. It's not about someone being ready for a relationship. It's about someone maybe having love and affection for you, but it might be because they want to control you. You see how it is? And also, Emperor reverse, that's usually distorted masculine or like negative baby daddy energy too. So that could be confusing too for people who watch readings where their past person comes out and they're trying to manifest a new person. So let's say you get Queen of Swords upright and 6 of Wands in the reverse. I always tell people there's a difference between being brutally honest and being tactfully honest. I'm tactfully honest. Like, you could get to your point and you could be blunt without being an asshole about it. and without being a hypocrite, pointing out other people's faults when you don't have your stuff together. So you could look at it in this situation. The Queen of Swords is trying to give somebody constructive criticism that might have them feeling ashamed or in their feelings. Turn the Queen of Swords in the reverse. If it came out in the reverse in a reading, now all of a sudden, this is about someone trying to humiliate someone by putting them on blast. So to me, it really does make a difference whether or not cards are shown upright, reverse, crossing, because it totally changes the tone. And honestly, it opens up more clarity on what you're really supposed to get from the reading. People can do tarot however they want. That's not my point. But yeah, I mean, the reality is situations in life are always a combination of positive and negative, and I'm not saying that cards in the reverse is always negativity. Sometimes some cards you want to see in the reverse, like the Devil reverse is a good card to get in the reverse. But sometimes reversals could be emphasis to get your attention. Sometimes they could just represent blockages. Sometimes they are the opposite meaning of the card upright or the negative meaning of the card upright. So it really does make a difference whether or not you're seeing a card upright or reverse when you do tarot.